step number 2 in the process of buying a home. We're going to talk about now why you need to get pre-approval. In the previous video, I talked about exactly what a pre-approval is and exactly the steps and the documents that you're going to need to give to a mortgage lender to begin that process. Now I want to talk about why. Number one excuse that I constantly hear over and over is, well, my credit isn't good and I don't want them to hit my credit. Okay, let's just get down to it and let's just be real about the situation. A lot of times we have fears about things that's not even real just because it's something that's new to us. The very worst that can happen is they tell you that you're not approved and it maybe hit your credit about 2 or 3 points. I just want to let you know, when you have your credit pulled by these mortgage lenders, your credit is only getting pulled by about no more than about 2 to 5 points on your credit. But you need that in order to know where you stand. And a lot of times people say, well, I know my credit score isn't good, so I won't be approved. Again, I've had so many clients who didn't think they were approved, and then they come to find out after they went through the pre-approval process, oh, you're approved for $150,000 or $100,000 or $200,000, whatever the case may be. And they get shocked like, oh my God, I didn't know I was approved already to buy a home. Yes, now we still can talk about the funds that you're going to need to buy the home, but yes, you are pre-approved. A lot of times, you know, we let things go into late payments or even collections on our credit report and just be like, oh, well, I'm not going to pay it. And not even countering the fact of how much that's going to decrease your credit score. But yet we're too afraid to ding our credit score to get a pre-approval to let us know if we're qualified to buy the home that we say we want to buy. So it's just more of a mind shift. You just got to change that mind shift of, oh, well, I don't want it to ding my credit, because a lot of times people think that, oh, I know my score is bad, so I can get pre-approved for a home. But in actuality, that's not the case, because a mortgage lender is looking at your entire credit profile. So they're looking at your credit report card. So you can be an individual that got a 700 credit score, but if you have no history of on-time payments or no payments at all or no type of credit on your credit report, and then you can still technically not be approved because the bank knows you have a high credit score, but you also don't have nothing to go off of at the same point. Or you can be an individual, let's say you got like a 575 credit score or 600 credit score, but you got on-time payments for the past 5, 10, 15, 20 years, depending on your age. Well, even though your score might not be what you want it to be, you may still be approved for it because you have an entire report card of on-time payment history. That's what they're looking for. They look at the score, but they're mostly looking at your entire credit report card. So that's one of the biggest things that they're looking at. And also they're going to look at your, your debt to income. But stop thinking about just, oh, my score is this, so I'm not going to get it. And then also, if you're going based off of your score that you see on Credit Karma, I'm just going to let you know from my personal experience, every time I've had my credit pulled, my score was always about at least 20 to 30 points higher than what was on Credit Karma. I am not down in Credit Karma, and I'm not saying Credit Karma is not a good source to have, because it's a very, very great source to have when you're not trying to pay for it. But once you get to the point to where you want to know what your true credit score is, I've learned from my own credit score, from my own experience, and some of my clients as well. I've had clients that say, oh, I got a 615, 620 credit score, and then all of a sudden the mortgage lender pulls their score and they actually got a 645, 650. So again, just get this information. You need to find out where you stand. And if you're somebody that's afraid because, oh, well, I know I'm going to get rejected because I had this happen or that happen, still go through the pre-approval process if you say you're serious about buying a home within a year and a half or less, or maybe 2 years or less, because now that mortgage lender, if you're working with a qualified mortgage lender, a qualified and a very credible mortgage lender, they're going to tell you exactly why you did not get approved. So they may tell you, hey, if you can pay this debt amount down to this amount, if you can pay this car loan to this amount, and if you can increase your income by this, or if you can decrease this, then you'll be pre-approved. But now, even though you didn't get pre-approved, you're in a million times better situation than where you were before you started the process, because now you know where you stand. It's better now because now you know what you have to do to get there. So even though you didn't get the news that you wanted, you still at least now know, okay, I know I got to do A, B, C, D, and E, and then I'll be pre-approved and I'll be good in about 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, whatever the situation or however long it's going to take you to fix that. But you need to get this, and stop being afraid of knowing what your situation is. You may already know that you might not have a great credit report card or a great credit score, but so what? It's only temporary. You can get that changed. You can fix that. I've literally seen people who've had foreclosures. Just as a quick example of my licensed credit specialist on my team that's been helping a lot of my clients be able to be approved for a home. He was able to buy a home when he still had a repossession on his credit report, on his credit score. So it's not always about what's on your credit score. It's about everything that's on your credit, plus your debt, plus your income, everything, your entire profile. That's why they ask for all of that information. So again, you just need to make sure you get that process done, because you need to know where you stand. If you say you're really serious about trying to buy a home, and if you don't get pre-approved, not only will they give you the game plan, but then what you're also going to want to do is you're going to want to work with a FICO certified credit specialist. You want to do that because you want them to be FICO certified, because that's the score that the banks are looking for. They want to know what's your FICO score. So you want to work with a licensed credit specialist who's FICO certified. I am not saying that if you're working with a credit specialist that is not FICO certified that they are not credible. I'm not saying that they won't be amazing and help you get your credit report. But it only helps to have somebody who is FICO certified, who knows the system, they know what they're looking for, and they're constantly updated with the new credit industry news, the new credit profiles, the new credit criteria. Hey, okay, 2 years ago you used to have this score to get pre-approved for a home. Now you only need this. They're able to stay updated with all of that information. So again, stop procrastinating, stop being afraid, because the very worst thing they can say is you don't get pre-approved, but at least you know where you stand and what you need to do to get there, because it's not a rush, but you need to at least begin the process if you say that's what you want to do. So again, hope this video was very, very helpful. This is why you need to get a pre-approval and go through that process. And again, my name is Jameer Walton. I'm a licensed real estate agent with Premier Midwest Realty. I'm only licensed in the state of Illinois. But if you're outside the state of Illinois watching this video, I can still refer you and give you information for a real estate agent in that area, as I have relationships with several different agents across the nation. So thank you for your time, and I hope this video was very helpful for you.